Today, I'm doing more stash busting by creating a mini album with paper scraps from my stash. This is a fun, low pressure project that's perfect for using up leftovers and giving you a mini album for making memories. Hi everyone, this is Debbie from Project 39 Mini Albums, and today I'm showing you a mini album I made using some leftovers from Doodlebug's The Great Outdoors. Now, I've made projects in the past, and if you want to go look at my channel, I'll try to remember to link it in the description box. And my January paper stash smash challenge to myself was to use up as much of the papers as possible. In addition, I had some things like these, what do they call them? It's not a doodle pop, but any other three-dimensional pieces that coordinate with the Doodlebugs, the Great Outdoors, and I had a ton of odds and ends from um, the Great Outdoors. Now, let me tell you, I swear these things multiply in the package because I was using them and using them and using them, and I still have some left. So I'm going to figure out different things to do. I used stickers, I used petite prints to coordinate, I used scraps of cardstock from my stash, and I did also use some other paper from my stash that sort of coordinated with Doodlebug because I needed some plain paper. Now, I will tell you about tutorial at the end of this video, so let me show you the mini album and you decide if that's something you wanted to see. Anyhow, it says nature is calling. I don't know about that for a title, but I thought it was fun. Um, this cabin is three-dimensional. It's got 3 layers. It's popped up. I didn't do that. It already comes there. And then I added a couple of mushrooms and that cute little worm. He's smiling. And then that is from the petite prints. And there is that cabin in the background. It came from a 6x6 pad, so it's very small. Inside I've got a pocket. I took one of these cut aparts and put here just for some added interest. This paper, I don't remember if that came from Doodlebug or just coordinated, but in any case it works fine. And then here is a tag that came from the paper. I was going to use this on the front, but I decided that RV there yet is just as cute. I loved this paper, which has just a nice scene of things you might see in the great outdoors, the cabin, a little van, a guitar near a picnic table, and a lamp. There's a moose and a fox and a bison, a couple of bears, a cute little bald eagle. So anyhow, but this paper was a little too small for this page. So to make it work, I cut down some more of that cabin paper, added a strip of this green paper, and put it there. Now you could still put a photo right there. I took some photos that were in my stash and put them on here. I know that's a little bit small, but you see how you can put that on the paper and it still looks good. I need to get some bigger photos and I'll do that before I show you. Now this polka dot paper coordinates. It's not from Doodlebug, but I had it in my stash and I wanted to use it to help stretch what I had. Of course, that is open on the top. Now here's another one of the cut aparts. I did have some 12 by 12 pieces left over, and that's where that came from. I stacked some of these. You can't see that they're popped up on dimensionals, but it makes a nice little tuck spot, and then there's also room to tuck in a photo to there. And of course that we already showed you. I do have a small Neo magnet here. They are listed in my description box if you're interested. I did put a couple of little photo mats so you could add your photos to the photo mats. That is from Arches National Park. Beautiful place. I also had some enamel accents, and this is from S'mores. Since we had the campfire and the matches, I put s'mores on the top because why wouldn't you have s'mores if you had a campfire? And here is another hidden photo mat, I'm sorry, which measures, by the way, it's about 3.5 by 5. So you could put a 3 by 4 or 3 by 3.5 photo and have room to journal on the bottom, or 3 by 4 3/4 photo if you wanted to. I like using hidden pocket pages to give you more room to put photos. This page, we've got a pocket. I took one of these cut aparts that came from the 6 by 6 paper. I'm almost sure, yeah. It's got the small profile. And I added a photo mat so you could put a photo right there. These came from the odds and ends. It's a little bear, a couple of trees. I cut off one of the trees and put it over here, and then left a little spot there to put your photo. Love the colors. I love the orange and the turquoisey paper. And even though this paper did not come from the collection, I think it coordinated perfectly. So another pocket here, another cut apart from the 6 by 6 paper, and place there to put a photo. If you have more photos, you don't need to put them on this photo mat. You can actually just use this to journal on. And if you wanted to, you could just leave photos in the pockets. So I added another photo mat here, the sleeping bag with the flashlight and the lantern are all open, so you could just take your photo and put that there. This was fun. This was from Cadillac Ranch in Texas, where people go spray paint a bunch of Cadillacs sitting in a field. There is a hidden, not hidden, no, there isn't a little. I could have left this open and tucked something in here, but I did not. And then here we go with the photo mat in the top of the page. On the back here, I've got another worm popped up on dimensionals and a couple more mushrooms. This is open. That's where you could put another little photo if you wanted to. Just tucked in that page, or just leave that to put your photo on the photo mats. And again, room here in the pocket. I had a lot of these square embellishments. I think I had a whole sheet. Now, again, I don't remember if it was from the 6 by 6 or 12 by 12, but they make a nice addition to a pocket if you're not sure what to do with them. I mean, you can put them inside the pocket, or you could do like I did here and make it just a little flap, but they do make a nice addition to a pocket like that. And then the back looks like that, just using up scraps. That's from a sticker sheet. Could have even come from another collection, to be honest. I don't know, but Doodlebug all coordinates nicely. So let's talk about a tutorial. Do you want a tutorial on this? In January, I was smashing my scraps, and I made a bunch of things. I was waiting for video equipment to come in, and I couldn't record tutorials, and rather than sit and wait, I said, you know what, I'm just going to make what I can and leave it up to my viewers to see what they want to see. So at the end of me sharing all of my projects, I'm going to put up a poll on my community tab asking which you want to see a tutorial for. So I'll try to remind you what they all have, but there is this one, Nature is Calling, 5.5 by 4 3/4 mini album. So if this is what you want to see a tutorial on, don't forget to respond to my poll in the community tab. That is what I wanted to show you today. I hope you enjoyed this project walkthrough, and thank you so much for watching, and have a fabulous day.